everybody, it's Ryan here with Chosen Society. I just wanted to give you guys this quick word here. I noticed that I was wearing this particular t-shirt for a reason, and there's a Hebrew word that this word comes from, nasa, and that means to lift up, to bear. And I want to just share something with you that it's coming here out of Genesis 13 and 14. Some of you guys, just like Abraham in Genesis 13 and 14, there was a pivotal decision that Abraham needed to make in his life. God was asking Abraham to separate from Lot, and it's interesting that there's a request that God makes before shift or change happens. There's something that we have to normally give up. There's something that we offer up to him as a sacrifice for us to get our next. So as Abraham separated from Lot, as he was able to finally obey the instructions of the Lord, this is where in Genesis 13 and 14, the Lord tells Abraham to lift up his eyes, or to nasa his eyes, to lift up his eyes and to see the land, the north, the east, the south, and the west, the four directions of what God was getting ready to bless Abraham with. And one of the things that God has continued to remind me, he's shown me this in particular in dreams. A lot of times the things that pertain to God come in an unorthodox way. So a lot of times when we would read a scripture like Genesis 13 and 14, in our natural minds, we automatically assume that we physically lift up our eyes to see what God is trying to say. But what I've found out, and what the Lord is echoed and continue to speak in this season, that a lot of our ways to go up, we must first go low, and we must humble ourselves. It's in that humbled place, it's in that surrendered posture when we're laying before the Father, when we're laying out our cares, and this is where God begins to open our eyes. This is when we're able to see in proper context. We're able to, by first going low, by putting our head down, by being humble and humbled under the mighty hand of God, is when we're able to see him seated in his right place, right? So then we lift up our eyes. Then we can see clearly that he is sitting right in the judgment seat. We see him sitting on his throne. We see him in full authority. We see him in his full splendor and his awesomeness, so that we know that whatever he's showing us to do, specifically earlier today, I released a word on shifting. If God is calling me to shift and I can see him in his proper seat of authority, if I can see him in his proper place of kingship and lordship, then I take what he says to me seriously, and that word becomes a part of my flesh. That word becomes activated in my life, and I physically see the manifestation of the blessing that God has for me as I follow and I obey the instructions. So I just want to encourage you guys to lift up your eyes to the Lord, to nasa, to him right now. But that may first be a requirement for you to humble yourself. Just like it tells us in Zephaniah 2 and 3, we must seek humility. We must humble ourselves first before we can see up. So hopefully this is making sense to you guys. I pray that you guys are blessed by this video. Like this video, share this with someone else who can use an encouraging word on today. So see you guys in the next video. God bless. Bye-bye.